Two girls missing 4 years. Saved after a rancher's horse refused to leave a hidden canyon. The search for Lily and Grace had officially gone cold 4 years ago, at least on paper. Their smiling school photos still hung on the bulletin board of the county sheriff's office, corners curling, colors fading, just like hope in the town of Red Willow. People still whispered their names in church, still lit candles on anniversaries, but no one truly believed anymore. No one except maybe fate, and a stubborn ranch horse named Copper. Ethan Cole had lived his entire life on the edge of the Black Ridge, a stretch of land so wild and broken that maps barely bothered with it. He was a rancher by necessity, a loner by choice. His wife had died young, his child never born, and the land had become his only companion. That, and Copper. The horse had been with him for nearly a decade, steady, intelligent, almost unsettlingly aware. Ethan trusted Copper more than most people. That morning, the sky had carried a strange weight, clouds low and heavy like the land itself was holding its breath. Ethan planned a routine ride, checking fence lines along the far canyon, a place he usually avoided. The hidden canyon, they called it. Steep walls, narrow paths, and shadows that never seemed to move. Locals said it swallowed sound. Some said worse. As they approached the trail, Copper slowed. Then stopped. His ears pinned forward, muscles locked. Ethan clicked his tongue, nudged gently, but the horse refused to move. Instead, Copper turned sharply toward a barely visible path leading down into the canyon. He snorted, pawed the dirt, eyes wide and fixed. "Easy, boy," Ethan muttered, uneasy. Copper had never acted like this. When Ethan tried to pull the reins away, Copper fought him, hard. The horse stepped forward, dragging Ethan toward the edge. Something deep inside Ethan stirred, a warning mixed with curiosity. He dismounted, heart pounding, and followed on foot, leading Copper carefully down the narrow descent. The canyon swallowed them whole. The air turned cool, damp. Every sound felt muted, as if wrapped in cloth. Halfway down, Copper froze again. Then Ethan heard it, a sound so faint it could have been imagined. A breath. A whisper. Help. Ethan's blood ran cold. He scanned the canyon walls until he spotted it, a small opening hidden behind brush and stone. A cave? No, not a cave. Something man-made. A shack, half-buried, camouflaged to disappear. As Ethan approached, the smell hit him first, stale air, decay, fear. Inside, huddled in the dark, were 2 young women. Skin pale from years without sun. Hair tangled, cut unevenly with something dull. Eyes too old for their faces. One clutched the other, trembling. "My God," Ethan whispered. The older one lifted her head. "We didn't think anyone would ever come." They were Lily and Grace. 4 years missing. 4 years presumed dead. Copper let out a low, steady sound, almost like relief. Ethan didn't waste time. He wrapped them in his jacket, gave them water, and used his radio. Thank God it barely reached. The rescue team arrived hours later, stunned into silence. The canyon had never been searched this far. No one thought to. No one except a horse. As they were lifted out, Grace looked back at Ethan. "If your horse hadn't refused to leave, we would have died here." That night, Red Willow didn't sleep, the truth unraveled slowly, painfully. The man who had taken Lily and Grace wasn't a drifter, as many assumed, but a quiet contractor who knew the land better than anyone. He'd built the hidden structure himself, choosing a place even search helicopters couldn't see. He had died months earlier from an accident, leaving the girls trapped, alive, forgotten, surviving on rainwater and whatever scraps they could find. Hope alone had kept them breathing. The town gathered when the girls returned. Tears flowed freely, parents who had mourned living children, prayers that had gone unanswered now finally heard. But healing didn't come all at once. Lily woke screaming some nights. Grace flinched at loud noises. Trauma doesn't vanish just because rescue comes. Ethan visited often but never forced conversation. He brought fresh bread, sat quietly on the porch, let Copper graze nearby. Slowly, trust grew. Grace laughed one afternoon when Copper nudged her hand for an apple. Lily cried the first time she slept through the night without fear. Months later, during a town gathering, the sheriff spoke. "We searched everywhere," he said. "Except where we didn't think to look. Sometimes answers come from places we overlook." Everyone turned toward Ethan. Toward Copper. Ethan shook his head. "I didn't save them," he said quietly. "I just listened." Life moved forward. Lily and Grace began speaking at schools, sharing their story, not of horror, but of survival. Of believing even when the world forgets you. Ethan returned to his ranch, but he was no longer alone in the same way. He had purpose again. One evening, as the sun dipped behind Black Ridge, Ethan stood beside Copper, hand resting on his neck. "You knew, didn't you?" he murmured. The horse only breathed softly, steady and calm. Somewhere out there, someone watching this story right now might feel lost, unseen, forgotten. But just like Lily and Grace, your rescue might come from an unexpected place. Hope doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, refusing to leave. If this story moved you, if it reminded you to keep believing, subscribe to this channel. More powerful stories of hope, courage, and miracles are coming, because stories like these deserve to be heard. And sometimes, they save lives.